Kal Penn was a pretty busy man in Hollywood for more than a decade. A number of projects, including Harold and Kumar.
Yep.
But in 2009, he left L.A., headed for Washington.
To D.C., worked for 2 years as a public liaison in the White House. Now he is going back to his old stoner ways in the new movie called A Very Harold Kumar 3D Christmas. And look who is here with us this morning. Kal Penn, thank you very much for being here. Amazing story, the man with the Honda Accord.
It was awesome. I mean, I want to try to go some million
I
miles.
saw you.
I did. I was kind of laughing at the parade because it was so cool.
It was great.
You know, the flags and everything. Absolutely,
good to have you back.
Good
here.
to be here.
Good to see you. Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you.
Couple years, a little detour to the White House. What brought that on?
Yeah, you know, in 2007, kind of way back, there was a writer's strike in Hollywood. I had friends that couldn't afford college, were over in Iraq serving, and I thought, you know, why don't I go to Iowa, knock on some doors for this guy who's trying to change things for the better. And then when he won, you know, a lot of young people, especially from all over the country, kind of packed up, took a leave from their private sector careers and moved to D.C. So I was just one of many, actually.
Yeah,
and it's such an eye-opening experience when you do that, going from two worlds that seem so different. Although, you know, you always hear Washington is Hollywood for ugly people. I mean, how much is there in terms of similarity between Hollywood and Washington? Is it a big fat zero?
I don't think they're similar at all in terms
Yeah.
of the day-to-day, right? To me, they're like the yin and the yang. I love being creative in LA. I love being an actor. I also love the kind of cerebral service side to me. But they are both company towns, right? So they're essentially one industry towns. That's probably the similarity, I'd say.
It's exhausting, though, too. I mean, the hours that you keep in, it can be exhausting on a film set, obviously. But the hours in Washington, and you probably can give a better sense to people at home at what it's really like there. There's a high level of frustration that things don't get done. But why is that?
I'm obviously, biased in terms of having worked in the White House,
Sure.
but you're right. You know, we would show up to work at 7:30 in the morning. You're there till 11 o'clock at night, and you get a text from a friend of yours who works for a senator or congressman at 4:30 saying, "Hey, you want to go grab drinks?" You're like, no, we're working till 11 o'clock tonight for this bill.
What are you doing over there on
Why
the
are
Hill?
you grabbing drinks on the Hill? You should be working to pass the president's bill.
So this is the secret.
So yeah, I agree with you. You know, there was a lot of frustration in terms of that because you're trying to do a lot, and you know, you got to rally some folks.
I want to talk about your title. When you were there, you were Secretary of State. No.
You were nuclear inspector.
Okay. Associate Director of the White House Office of Public Engagement. What did that entail?
So the Office of Public Engagement is the outreach arm, and there's a point person for outreach for really any conceivable issue or community. And I was mostly doing youth outreach there. So actually, I love that you guys did the story on financial aid.
Yeah.
Right now, that was so huge, and so many folks, the president especially, were fighting for the last 3 years. And that's kind of the stuff I worked on. Thankfully, you know, not particularly partisan. Things like Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal, and outreach around that, outreach around student aid, bringing our friends home from Iraq, entrepreneurship. And I'm not a policy expert, obviously. It was.
But it had to have helped, obviously, with your movie background and with your popularity. I'm sure you got a double take quite a few times when people would see you and you would approach them, right?
You know, it's actually completely different. I found that obviously my coworkers at the White House I'd known since 07, and that plenty of folks had taken a leave and worked there. But even when we were doing outreach, people would meet with the White House for really substantive, real issues, and it never seemed conflicted with my old life.
Let's talk about the movie.
Yes.
A little 3D action. I mean, like, 2D wasn't good enough. We'll bring in 3D. Huh?
Here's the deal. A lot of
got
stuff.
this kind of magic. I mean,
a lot of stuff is in 3D right now. This is not a big budget action movie. You know, there's one explosion.
Yeah.
You'll see that.
Okay.
But the rest of it, I think the 3D really heightens the relationship between the characters. And really, frankly, this is not a children's Christmas movie. Yeah. So the gags that you're going to see are things that I think we haven't seen in 3D yet. It was a lot of fun to shoot that way.
You guys miss one another when you're not filming together? Or
John and I? Yeah, we actually do. You know, this is now our third movie. We shot the first movie. A lot of folks forget it totally tanked in the theaters. It was the fans that really found it on DVD.
but those are some of the best movies.
Well, and this is what we love about it. So the cast and the writers were all very close. It's like working with old friends again when we have a chance to do one of these.
Neil Patrick Harris and PH in this one as well, right?
PH is awesome. Absolutely, he's in this one.
We should point out, though, before we let you, you're not just back, in Hollywood, you're doing stuff. You're writing. You're in the process of getting your graduate degree. I mean, you're a pretty busy guy. And by the way, if you don't follow him on Twitter, you're funny.
Am I?
You're
Do you like my
funny
tweets?
on Twitter.
I'm going to give you an 8 out of 10 on the funny scale.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
All right.
So keep it up.
As my mom would
we
say-
don't want to have to put the score down.
No, well, and my mom would say, why isn't it a 10? What happened to the other 2 points?
Well, we have
I don't know,
the
Mom.
bar is very high here. Cal, good to see you. Really.
Thanks
to see you,
for
too.
coming
Thanks
by.
for having me.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Good luck with the movie.
Thank you.